I'd say the Hecarim already banned away by Ore, so Tien, who was unstoppable on that pick in their series against BLG, their last series of the split, will not be getting his hands on that.
No Hecarim for you, Tien, so we got to see you take something new into the jungle. Of course, still plenty of time, plenty of bans. For FPX, this is kind of a, you got to make a statement right now because everyone's kind of writing them off in terms of the playoff contenders, people who will be going towards, you know, Wuhan in that finals on the 18th of April, and this is kind of where I want to see what they're able to do, if they're able to put their foot down, make their mark, and actually get themselves up there with the likes of RNG, EDG, and Top Esports.
It's a tall order. I mean, it's a long, long way for both of these teams to climb, but starts off here today with Lilia being banned away by FPX, the Nidalee gone as well. A lot of those AP junglers taken off the board, so we won't be looking towards things like the Lucian too much in this mid lane, or at least those AD mid laners. Could still be flexed towards top lane, but I believe Rel probably the highest priority here coming in for FPX, or something like the Udyr for Tien.
Yep, Udyr is still up and available, and that will be locked in there for Tien. So the man-bear pig and his very fast legs running, scurrying around the rift shall be there for Tien, and it's kind of the kind of champion you want to see him on. It's someone who can impact the lane, someone who can make moves in the early game.
And it's really going to slot into that FPX style, especially when you want to see a little bit of pressure towards mid, towards Doinby, unlocking him, getting him in towards these side lanes with Tien. Feels like a very strong champion. Ore are hovering this Nocturne. Now we have seen this from Ore in the past. They have taken this Nocturne to like deflex it. You can go Fofo, Cube. Leanne has taken it a lot of those times though, and this is where I want to see if instead we end up getting that flexed into one of these lanes. I don't like it so much against a team like FPX because you tend to be relatively quiet in the early stages as this Nocturne in the jungle, and when you're against an Udyr and Tien specifically, you know he's going to want to make plays early.
See what they want to go for RAs. They're going to lock in the Nocturne, and I love this right now from the side of RA because they do pick up the Tristana, something that iBoy has shown he is incredibly comfortable with, and that early level 1 or early level 2 kind of power spike you get does make it a very, very dangerous foe in that bot side against something like a Kai'Sa.
It does, but you already saw the hover there. I think you're going to see Crisp go towards the likes of the Rel here. He loves this pick. It's his most played champion in the LPL right now, and he has a 77% win rate on it. And pair that with the LWX's Kai'Sa, who, lo and behold, has a 77% win rate for him as well. This is a very potent bot lane that has come through for FPX.
See what they want to answer here. I imagine you just pick the Alistar here. You do not. You've already banned the Gragas, and that is Hong's most played from the regular split. Has played it 10 times, and again, we're kind of seeing this bot lane of Rel, Alistar, Kai'Sa, and Tristana just swapping sides.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's kind of been the way of things, but certainly on Ore's side, you're setting up for a pretty potent dive combo. You got the Nocturne for backline access, Alistar, who loves that backline access, and Tristana, who likes being able to get these jump resets. So I honestly think that Ore are going to be setting up for a much more heavy engage style of things, where maybe we look towards things like even the Aatrox, a Scion, maybe the Gnar even for Cube in this top lane that can follow up on this team fight dive potential.
Now for FPX, where do you take your bans right now? Because it was Leanne who took the Nocturne the one time it was picked there for RA in the regular split, and it was kind of a little bit of an up and down kind of affair. They are going to focus in towards that mid lane, take away that Zois. They do believe this Nocturne is going towards the jungle.
And I think it'll be the Orianna ban next, especially when you got an Alistar and a Nocturne. Orianna does so well with that combo. And it also just kind of lends itself away from Fofo's crazy strong picks. We already talked about it already. When he was in the regular split, he had a 75% win rate on the Orianna, a 6.3 KDA. He was hard carrying games on this pick, so I'm not surprised to see if FPX try to ban it away. On RA's side though, they're focusing Nuguri out, Jace banned away, Silas banned actually away from Doomby. He's been playing that a lot in solo queue, so not surprised to see that find its way into this pick ban phase.
Yeah, and the Jace as well, something that Nuguri played twice against BLG and absolutely snowballed away with it. He was able to get his first tower, roam around, make impacts around the map after his tower was taken down. And for RA, where do you want to kind of take this draft right now? Because you still have options now with the Nocturne. You can still put that into mid, maybe go for an AP jungler. You still have ways of moving around.
The Jace, for me, signifies they're probably going to take the Gnar here. I think they just want something that can do relatively well in this top lane and, again, facilitate in on top of the dive. The big question is for Fofo in the mid lane. With the Azir ban, I think you do go towards the Orianna just to round it out. But again, I like this from Ore. They're lending themselves towards that counter pick for the mid laner, waiting to see what Doomby's going to bring out.
You do take the Gnar a little blind. No Renekton on the board, though, so has got a plethora of options outside of that. No Jace, no Renekton. May go towards something like the Gangplank if he's really feeling it. We'll see what FPX want to lean towards themselves. They have to blind pick their mid laner. They do not know exactly what Fofo will be getting, and this is something that we highlighted in RA's last series, where it was very much a style of give Fofo a carry. This guy has been a huge influence, a huge shining light for the side, but there is the counter pick up to the top side. It is the Aurelia and the Orianna coming in for FPX's solo lane.
So the last time we actually saw Nuguri play this was against Ore into the Gnar as well, and he did a superb job of beating Cube in that respect. But you got to be careful because it is a pick that revolves around having a lot of support in that top side of the map. So what you really need to see here is if TN on the Scooter can play towards this top side. Your bottom side with the Rel and Kai'Sa is going to be a little bit taking the back foot here, but it does allow you to play through this mid and top side.
First time we're going to be seeing Fofo on the Twisted Fate. Has not picked it towards the regular season, was not prevalent in their IG series either. So globals here for the side of RA, and like you said, very much a dive comp as they pick up the Alistair, the Nocturne, and of course you've got the jump in there with the Shasana and the Destiny Gate from the Twisted Fate.
Exactly, it's the double backline access of the Nocturne and this Twisted Fate. You can play side lanes incredibly well as well because of the access to the two semi-global ultimates. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for FPX to try and enact Nuguri to have this pressure up against Cube if they opt in towards the side lanes. But honestly, I think FPX, they're kind of okay with this. They get a super strong matchup top. They have a really strong matchup in the mid lane as well. Bot isn't too far off of an even matchup either. So for FPX, it feels like play through your strong lanes, play through that top side, and see if you can step behind Cube on this Gnar and get this Aurelia ahead, because we've all seen what Aurelias can do when they get ahead like this.
Yeah, honestly, and I want to see what Fofo can do with this pick. This is something that was brought up by Azael on the dive. If you're playing something like a Twisted Fate, you need to be okay with going behind in CS. You need to be okay with losing a couple of ways, because your job is not to go equal. Your job is to go and get your side lanes ahead. That's what I want to see Fofo do, and that's something that Fofo has done very well in the past.
And I mean, it even doubles down on it with the builds we see from Twisted Fate, but you need to see Ore getting out, getting this action early, which is different to what we've usually seen for them, but we're into game number 1.
There's the crowd. You can hear the FunPlus fans in unison and in force there as Doomby's wife gets the chants going off. And as we come into this game, it's definitely going to be a little bit of momentum here from RA. They have obviously come off of the high of beating IG, the 2018 World Champions. And we alluded to as well, if they're able to beat IG and FPX in back-to-back best-of-5 series, we kind of have to dub them the World's Killers. Like, these guys are the World Champion Slayers if they are able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, 2018 gone, 2019 gone, and Nuguri, the 2020 World Champion, would also be out of our LPL playoffs, but it is going to be a tall order for them. We talked about RA, how yes, they've got all these semi-globals they can use at level 6, but you got to get to level 6, and that opens up a large portion of this early game for FPX. Tien, already pathing towards this top side as well, will be there to try and allow Nuguri to play super aggressive, and off those resets could potentially look to go towards these early dragons with the pressure Doomby should have in this mid lane.
Looking down the kind of, especially with the two junglers, like Tien is going to have a faster clear than Nocturne. He is just going to be naturally that might be a camp ahead by the time the full clear comes around. We do see Crisp going in, iBoy taking a very unfavorable trade, and that's just the power of Rel, baby.
iBoy really struggles against this Rel pick. Every time I've seen him go into lane against it, he ends up taking this step too far forward, gets hit by the crash down, and pretty much loses the lane level 1. Now, this is going to take a massive step back for iBoy. Isn't completely out of this, but certainly you can see he gives full control to LWX and Crisp, and I love this. Go in, get that vision control. They have guaranteed knowledge when Leanne is bot side, and can potentially even threaten on towards this bot lane scuttle if they really wanted to, but it looks like Tien is just full committing towards, hey, let's help Nuguri topside.
This is kind of just the calm before the storm, realistically. Like you said, the level 6 so very important here for RA. They're solo laners, they're jungler as well, but just looking from FPX, how do you kind of get your advantages? You mentioned it at the start of it, they're explosive team. Where do you want to see them pushing if they are going to be trying to get that kind of same explosively?
Well, you can see, look, Nuguri loves this matchup at topside. He is so strong on this Aurelia. It's really difficult for the Gnar to try and punish this because you're able to dash and move around so effectively. And it looks like Tien already making his way up here just to make sure that he can crash the wave.
Well,
Nuguri.
Dive. See the look for the dive there. Cube in a little bit of trouble. There's the Flawless 2F flashed away. He will get stunned under though and does not get himself out. First blood to Tien.
Yeah, and the only way you can try and shut that down is either having Leanne topside or for Fofo to invest that TP, but the problem is Twisted Fate, if you invest that TP towards topside, you don't get the smart reset, which is going to let you get that full mana, full health at that level 6. So Ore trying to play around this double level 6 of Leanne and Fofo more so than Cube in these early stages.
Cube has Hail of Blades. I just noticed that as I was looking in. I was like, why did the grasp not proc? But he actually has Hail of Blades, and now Tien is back up towards this top side, trying to see if he can steal these Krugs. Lian is here, though, so Tien has to respect that his top laner has yet to come back into that top side, so will not be able to get the full tank. But yeah, curious to know about your thoughts about the Hail of Blades Gnar.
I actually wouldn't hate it if we were on last patch. I think the fact that Ravenous Hunter has 0% Omnivamp at the... Oh, we're okay. 0% Omnivamp on this new patch means that you actually don't get as much of this lifesteal that you would expect through the Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter combo. And you could trade really effectively as Cube with the Hail of Blades like now, but you can see it's really difficult. When Nuguri stacks up that Conquer, you're not going to be able to trade. So I think I prefer the shorter, quick trades that come with Grasp of the Undying rather than this Hail of Blades build.
Oh, Hong is in mid. Doomby gets flashed on, gets knocked up, gets punted back. They do get the gold card down. And there with Lian, this kill is all but confirmed. Fofo gets it with the stacked deck, and that is a perfect roam there from the support of RA.
And perfect timing as well, right? Fofo's just got that reset in. He's got the Merc thread. Now he's in a position to really unlock that map at level 6. And Lian, Hong already making these early plays. This is not the way RA usually play.
This isn't how they usually play. As we can now see Crisp and Hong. Hong says thank you for the blast cone. I'm outie, and gets himself away. And the rest of RA do back themselves away. And this is something that you mentioned, Dublin, we alluded to, the Tien versus Leyen. This is something that we didn't really get to talk a huge amount to, but it is going to be about how either of these junglers are able to open up the map, unlock these side lanes, unlock the different advantages towards letting their happenings going. But Shockwave is landed, Flash for Fofo is available. Nuguri just a little bit too far behind, not really going to be in a position. As I say that, Flash gold card, he goes in underneath the tower, but Nuguri now has no escape. They will be able to get him.
The shield?
He shields to the shield. Flash from Leanne does secure the kill. 2 for 2. Nuguri doesn't even use his flash.
But this is what I love about Nuguri. Is like, look, I've got this big advantage in your top lane. How do I use it? I'm going to get out of top lane, see if I can make this play mid. Could have worked a lot better if we had Tien involved as well. But Tien, a bit late to the party, would just steal away the Raptors on that top side instead and try and get himself a little bit of a lead. But nice roam from Nuguri. Does mean he loses out a bit of the CS top side, though.
Pushing and pulling. See these both sides just trying to see if they can make any advantage happen for themselves right now.
The big thing here for Ore, though, is you've just hit 6 on both mid and the jungler. This is the double combo that Ore are looking to play around. So now we need to see how do Nocturne and Fofo play this, because you can see Nuguri, he's going to have this wave that's pushing out, so there's the potential there to slam home a victory for Cube in this top lane. Or they can try and go down towards this bottom lane and punish the short range of LWX and Crisp.
See what the ones to go for. As we see boots pretty much across the board for all solo laners on all top side. iBoy is still here. Going to be an annoying little Tristan. It just pops down a auto attack onto Chris to stop the full resets. They do not get synergized resets going up top side, or sorry, bot side.
So this is basically where Ore have actually done a really good job of matching this early pressure from FPX. I know we're only 7 minutes into the game, but it's still the fact that they've managed to hit this level 6, they've kept the gold relatively even, means that now as they start to get these picks, they can maybe look to open up the map, use these double semi-globals, and then get the ball rolling towards mid-game, where you can have Fofo off in a side lane, use that Destiny and the Paranoia to make picks, or just have two people in a side lane pushing towers and make it impossible for FPX to defend because of the numbers disadvantage.
And you can see up in top side there, Cube has got the priority on the wave because Nuguri has to be so careful when he walks up. So I say that, he goes immediately forward because I feel like he might have that vision. Yes, he has Leyen on the bot side or in top side jungle, and of course Crisp as well to give him safety.
Yeah, exactly. Crisp and Tien both up that side, but it's also just in time for this Rift Herald. So the fact that Leyen's on bot side and FPX are already grouped here is going to look really good. The issue though is you've left LWX alone, and now you've got double globals that could go bot side. No flash as well.
And LWX takes a massive chunk of his health bar. He needs to give up this entire wave on the bot side, as we can see there. Flash forward, as we can see, jumping straight in on top of Rookie. There is the shockwave that brings Fofo forward again. Doombee's still alive. He had enough mana to get himself the protect. They get a gold card down. Crisp does keep himself there. Tien is there. Flash, Bear, slap, almost going to be in range. Doesn't need a Crisp, takes the kill. Gets himself a red buff, and that is going to be advantage to FPX.
Great turnaround from FPX. Crisp getting that engaged. Doesn't have the level 6 available, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough CC with the crash down and that repel attract to make sure Doombee can turn it around. Now they pop that instantly, the Rift Herald in mid, to get all that gold in towards Doombee.
Oh, Vanguard's edge misses, and now Nuguri taking a bit of punishment here from Cube. Needs to play that very, very careful. Tien is in tow though, so they might just go for a dive. Still got a flash bear slap available to him. Cube in a little bit of trouble. Smite goes down. They're going to get the Vanguard's edge. Not the Vanguard's edge. The flawless duet down. And that's going to be more advantages. And this is the explosive early game you were talking about.
This is the big thing that is the difference between Beishuan and Tien. Now that Tien is back, FPX are much more willing to play around Nuguri in the top side. And they can start to play around this really strong top.
Magnet Storm, attack repel. They are tanking it very nicely though for RA. Crisp still alive though. And Crisp is still able to keep himself there. They will get iBoy to hop out. 2 kills come in, but that was a little close.
That was very, very close, but good job from RA, and that's that combo we were talking about. The double access to the having that Destiny available, getting laid down into this bottom side of the map. And once LWX had already burnt that flash, he was a sitting duck, especially since FPX are putting all their eggs in this top lane basket. Now Nuguri will be a monster. He's already got that Blade of the Rune King completed. It means he can chase down Cube so aggressively in these lanes, but they need to start to open up this top side. 3 plates still remain on that top lane structure, so FPX need to find a way to get that down and unlock Nuguri further.
Oh, nice little flawless duet. Forces Cube to flash. You cannot be sitting there. Might have gotten the Vanguard's edge cooldown a little bit off as it was just a ways away, so no real kill pressure there. But now Hong trying to see if he can do something on this top side. He has got his ultimate as well, so if he's able to see an overextending Nuguri, he should be able to counter it.
I don't think Nuguri is, though. The thing that I love about Nuguri is just how smart he is when he gets these leads at knowing how aggressive he can go. It's why he's been, like, honestly, the best, one of the best top laners we've had right now. And if you look at his stats, 2nd in damage percentage for top laners, highest damage to gold ratio of top laners, 1st in gold difference at 15, 2nd in CSD at 15. Like, this guy is a monster in the top lane for FPX, but he plays this push-pull so well, avoiding getting caught out. And this is why FPX feel free to play around him and have him play that more carry-orientated style versus, let's say, when Khan was in the team.
I played the Rune King finished up here for Nuguri as well. Not as powerful in the early game. Did get a slight kind of nerf buff, as I like to say, when they get kind of, slightly adjusted. It's kind of less, it used to have 12% lifesteal, now down to 10%, and it has a little bit more extra kind of siphon damage in the later game versus the early game.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. I think the more interesting thing here, though, when we're looking at items, is how quickly we're going to see Fofo moving up towards the Everfrost. I think that's going to make a massive difference here, where when he's able to go for these Destiny plays, which are going to be up now, also looking at Leanne with his ult up as well, you can then look to double down the amount of CC you provide, make sure that you're able to really go hammer home this pick potential. But also, one of the big things that TFs was struggling with,
Oh, that could be big. There is no flawless duet. There is a flash available. Vanguard Jed in. Will he be able to get him down? They are going to get the Gnar into the wall. Oh, that was close. Cube picks himself up a kill. Nice movement there from Leyan.
The cavalry is on the way, though, and Cube may have stayed too long.
He might have. He has his hop available to him, so should be able to get out to the safety of the turret. Stun underneath it as well, but the rest of the people are here. Tien taking far too many turret shots, though. They have to back away, and that's kind of, again, more time here from FPX. They don't really have to kind of use in that top side.
It's not too bad, though. I mean, look, Doomby's going to be up here to help, but nice play from Cube and Leyan to actually get a kill back in their favor. Not really an answer anywhere apart from FPX to try and make the play top, so they're actually going to move Nuguri in towards mid, let Doimby push that wave in top, and then do the swap between the two solo laners.
And more plates going down here for FBX. They are still equal in gold, despite kind of getting 2 plates, 3 plates in top and mid.
So because we're having so much action, I want to quickly hold on to this point, actually.
Yeah, the flawless duet is going to land, but Fofo with the Merc Treads and the gold card should be just fine to walk away. And Hong and Leyan are here. No paranoia available, no flash either for Leyan. So getting down that living nightmare Fear is going to be a little bit harder, and now Cube in a little bit of trouble in his top side. Shockwave is available should they want to use it. Yep, it actually drags him back towards the turret. It's going to be Doomby tanking up, but it's enough damage there. Tien picks himself up his second kill of the game.
And this is what I actually expected IG to do against Ore, but FPX are just doing a better job of it, punishing Cube in this top side. Whether it's going to be Nuguri picking up the kills or Doomby, you're perfectly happy to get both your solo laners ahead. In mid, though...
Oh, flash burned, and the Everfrost with the gold card on top of the Fear. Where can you go, Nuguri? There's the Destiny Gate on top of Crisp, who gets locked down as well. He has flash, but he's not going to be able to get away. 2 quick kills, double globals wins.
And there's the counter punch. There's what they needed to do to bring it back. This is what feeds so well into Ore's playstyle, is having access to all these TPs, all these semi-globals, so they can turn around these plays. They see FPX make the play top. They turn around in mid for 2 kills. Now, bot lane.
iBoy should be fine. As I say that, there is a red buff onto LWX. Flash forward. LWX is just a little bit in tow, and yeah, Tien picks up another one. They knew there was no flash on iBoy.
Chem tank and the slow from the smite plus the speedy bear means they can pick up iBoy, but we need to start to look at how all these things are coming, because they're coming quick and fast. When you look at that top lane tower going down, Nuguri now opened up on the map. He's very good at pushing in these waves and then finding moments to move towards mid, opting into giving more pressure towards the mid lane. But it looks like, as you can see, FPX, they've already managed to crack that structure, and this is where FPX get dangerous. They will look for picks, they will look for skirmishes as these towers start to fall, and it's going to be on Ore to make sure they can keep that vision control there. Dragon, 15 seconds away. Ore could look to fight this, but it's a little bit more difficult without access to all these moving ultimates or control on the map.
It looks like a little bit of a reset here, and actually it's FBX are the ones who are kind of roaming away from this dragon. They had to get a reset in for Doomby, which means I honestly feel like right now this could just be RA's dragon here to take. They should be able to get themselves their second Drake of the game.
It looks like FPX are going to trade this for the Rift Herald topside. They're like, look, we don't care about these dragons right now. If we can just crack open these structures, force this global or semi-global or pick composition into a defensive posture, they won't have the map pressure they need to give Fofo time to make these moves with Destiny, to have Leyan play between several different lanes. And it is a playstyle that can work if FPX can very quickly snowball this game into their favor. If, however, Ore can slow it down, the fact that Ore already have 2 dragons, looking at a 3rd mounted dragon on the way, that's where they can find their victories.
1,000 gold lead in favor, not even to be perfectly honest, in favor of FBX. They've got themselves the Rift Herald in the back pocket of Tien, and they have 2 dragons stacked against them. Now, RA, you're hovering towards this bot side, seeing if anyone tries to defend against Cube.
And this is exactly the way I want to see Leyan play. Leyan has access to that global ultimate. All right, cool. I'm going to go. You know what, Cube? We're best friends right now. I'm going to shadow you this whole time and make sure that you're safe. And if anything goes awry, cool. I'm here to help you shut down Nuguri. If anything happens in mid lane, fantastic. I can be there lickety-split with this ultimate. And I still have access to that backline as well. So a lot that Leyan can play around. And especially when you're looking at both Fofo and Cube, you can play through side lanes. As FPX, you need to make sure you know where Leyan is at all points in time.
Starting to see pretty much across the board first mythic items being picked up, or at least first items being picked up. You can see the Leandry's Torment there for Doinby. The Everfrost has been finished for a while there on the upside for Fofo. Stridebreaker, oh, there we go, going straight in on top of this bot lane as they can try to get in. Leanne has got enough damage, got enough fear. Not going to be able to land the flawless duet, and the knockback on top of Tien. Flash forward from Hong as he tries to go in, but the Magnet Storm is ridiculous. They're still going in. iBoy has the damage, iBoy has the resets. Destiny Gate makes this a completely unfair fight. You can see Doinby walking down. It was all there. Triple kill to the MVP of the first playoff series, iBoy.
Round of applause for RA in that fight. That's how you use these global ultimates. Baiting FPX into fights, picking them off, and then having the cavalry arrive to shut down anyone else who shows up on FPX. Now we're looking at a slight gold lead for RA, but crucially, they get map control. They can get these waves in their favor and look to continue making these picks with all the globals they have available.
Doinby needs to be a little bit careful. They spotted this, and they got the ghost popped here now. Fofo going to drop down the gold card. Doinby does have Flash. Everfrost traded out for the Shockwave, and Doinby steals the red and gets himself out. A little risky, won't lie. A little bit tentative there to see how Doinby would do, but trying to get any kind of reply there as RA just completely decimate the bot side.
I mean, risked it for the red buff biscuit, but it does mean you able to get out of there as Doinby, and at this stage, it's trying to take whatever you can off of this play, but I love this from RA. You already know that, look, you can have this Twisted Fate come in at any point in time. You have the advantages in the 2v2 when it comes towards Leanne and Cube, just the CC that this Nara can provide. And even though you get this magnificent engage from Crisp, LWX gets caught up in the mix here. He's in melee range with Cube. iBoy's getting resets, and that range advantage makes this such a difficult fight for the bottom lane of FPX to turn around.
With those double globals, you have the teleport, you've got the Nocturne Paranoia, you have teleport on Fofo, and you have the Destiny Gate. It means that when your teleports are down on either your solo lanes, you can't join that fight. It is a mismatched skirmish against you for FPX. So you need to make sure that you're keeping these timers going, and you need to make sure you're not getting caught.
And honestly, RA are in a really good spot here because they look so damn strong. You started to touch on towards items. Well, Kraken Slayer Phantom Dancer for iBoy, he's monstrous. When you look towards Fofo, he's actually going straight towards that rapid fire cannon. He's all in on this pick style and wants to be full utility with the Everfrost and rapid fire cannon.
Shelly will not get herself a second push in, as we do see now the third outer tower for RA falling at the hands of FPX, and that was kind of the Rift Herald priority they had, but with a minute until Dragon, they need to start stopping the stack, stop the count.
Well, for RA, they need to get control of these side lanes. You can see already Doinby is up there trying to make sure that he's safe, so you've got options here as RA. Do you decide here instead to look for a pick topside on towards Doinby or whoever is kind of left to clear out these top waves, or do you want to commit towards this Dragon? Personally, I think the best way to do it is if you can't find a pick in the next 30 seconds, you just try and play it through side lanes, but you can already see FPX, they're grouping up hard, they're grouping up fast, and with these lane controls in their favor, it's a lot more difficult for RA to find the picks they'd like at the start of these fights.
Yeah, you can see FPX not even looking for a flank or anything like that. They have a little bit of a summoner advantage. No flash on LWX, but they do know there's no flash on iBoy as well, so it's kind of a tit for tat on that particular one. And FPX, they look like they kind of want the fight. They don't want to just go for the Dragon straight off of spawn. They need to get mid lane priority. And Hong moving in now. iBoy just going to take himself a Gromp to try and make sure he's not losing out on his lot of experience. But now Dragon has started. Everyone kind of moving in. See if they want to go for something. Destiny Gate has been popped. There's the Paranoia. Goes straight in on top of the Dragon. But it's a little bit too late. Dragon goes over the side of FPX. Here we go. Shockwave on the Vanguard's edge. It's just ridiculously huge. Double kill for Tien. There is the stun down onto the Gnar as well, and that's 3 quick kills, and the Dragon Baron's up. You just run straight to it.
And that's a big boo-boo from RA. We said already, if you don't find that pick, just peace out. Go get your side lanes in order, try to create these long waves, or long lanes in topside. Instead, they end up giving FPX the team fight that they really wanted, and now FPX, they get the Dragon, they'll turn towards Baron, and as this team that wants to try and control the map that Rare Adam has, it becomes really hard to do so when there's a Baron buff knocking at your door.
Yeah, and the 1-3-1 that you can just kind of go split push yourself to victory right now. And FPX, let's have a look at how this fight one goes, because it just feel like the paranoia should be coming in, but he's just a little bit too far away. It takes him too long.
It takes too long, but also, like, the key person you need to get on here is LWX. Like, he's a lot of the damage once Dunby exerts the shockwave, and unfortunately, LWX, he's free this whole time. I genuinely thought that Nocturne Ultimate was going for the Kai'Sa. I thought you would get Hung flashing on, you burst at the Kai'Sa, and you take the fight afterwards, but instead, FPX are able to get that Dragon. Bit of mistake coming in from Oray, and now FPX are right back in this.
FPX right back in this and have themselves a 2,500 gold lead, or just a little bit under that. They've stopped the Dragon stacking as well, so they've got themselves their first Mountain versus the Infernal and Ocean of RA. RA, though, still not out of this one yet. They just got to survive this one. You've got the rapid fire cannon. You've almost got the Zhonya's for Fofo. You will have side lane pressure, but Tien 5-1-3 on this Udyr, really having a great series. And we mentioned it, Tien coming back into this roster, it just feels like FPX are more coordinated. It feels like they're more rounded around that one person, that one voice.
And they're more aggressive in the early game, which is the big one for me. This is how FPX likes to play. Let's get this game done quick. Let's get the snowball rolling into that avalanche. And for FPX, now they're in the comfort zone. They know how to use Baron incredibly well. It's get this vision denial, play towards Nuguri, make sure you can't have Fofo come and try and pick off Nuguri in the side lane.
No, they're going to come straight in on top of Cube, Strikebreaker, and there's nowhere for him to go. No point in even flashing. But now, with a minute 30 left in this Baron, you have no Gnar. You have no real engage here from the side of RA. FPX can keep pushing. You have Twisted Fate on the top side. I think they just give this up. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, and this was the call. This is what they should have done at Dragon. This is what they could have got. But instead now, a Baroned up FPX is taking your inhibitor, and they may not stop.
They're going to keep going off this. You still have a minute and 10 seconds left on this Baron. You have no real wave clear here outside of the Twisted Fate. He's going to be forced to TP out. They might still just lose a Nexus turret. So now you're half of your Nexus bare. Hung is behind them, but he's been spotted on a pink, and now he's in no man's land.
Yeah, and he's got nowhere to go. I mean, you headbutt Tien back in, you're kind of screwed. And Hung, where are you off to, buddy?
He's going to go with, they're committing to the team fight. They're TPing in as well with the Gnar. They're trying to go in, flash forward. He's going to try and get on top of LWX. It's not going to be enough though. Doomby goes golden. Now the fight can do the Vanguard's edges. We can see Nuguri on the backside. The shockwave is enough to kill off Hung. There we can see Cube trying to get Mega. They're trying to kite this one out. Flash forward from Tien. The Man-Bear Pig is just too damn big. Here comes Cube. He gets two men into the wall. This fight's not quite over just yet. Might just be now though, as FPX finally pick him off. And with all these low health bars, everyone TPing back in. Nuguri on this Aurelia has nothing left to say except this is my game one. FPX with the Baron, with the team fight win, going for the Nexus.
And it's at 24 minutes. The fastest Phoenix continues here as RA are left looking at their base in shambles.
They are looking at their base in shambles. FPX just need to hit the Nexus. Could be a little bit difficult.
They're so low.
They're so low, and iBoy could get resets. There's one. Tien not quite going down though. Crisp's in a little bit of trouble. 1, 2, can he get more? He's going to get Doomby. 3, not going to be able to get LWX, but Nuguri will be 4. iBoy, the MVP from the first series with a quadruple to save the game for RA.
That was exactly what was needed from iBoy. FPX tried to bite off more than they can chew. They're so low, hung by so much time and so much space for iBoy that RA are able to turn this one around. Biggest issue for them right now is there's nothing on the map. Their base is absolutely in tatters, and you can see here, FPX, you need to back away. You need to focus on iBoy, but Nuguri is playing keep away with Lian and Hung, which means that this Tristana is tearing through the backline. Shields be damned, iBoy will win this fight.
Gotta say, Nuguri got very close to taking down iBoy. You can see the flash there at the last second, but yeah, like you used everything. There was nothing for you to do. Pings going down from the side of RA.
There's no
Tien have to back away. They're not going to be able to TP into it. You're right. They have got Doomby's TP, but it'll be a very, very risky play. And now you're on soul point for RA. Despite the bare Nexus, despite your bot lane getting just pushed all the way in, there is still a glimmer of hope.
It is very hard as well for FPX to actually try and attack that Nexus through that bot lane, because when you look towards Nuguri, it's like, okay, he's the guy that would need to do it. No TP available for him, and the double globals that we're talking about with Lian and Fofo means you would be way too exposed on that bot side. Instead, they're committing towards this mid. They're grouping a 5 and trying to keep all this pressure up and not give Ore the opportunity to find weak and exposed members of FPX.
This feels like it's going to be Nuguri versus iBoy. Who can get on the back line, who can stay alive and keep putting out that DPS?
It has to be Hung. Hung needs to be the engaged tool to set this all up. Alongside a Destiny from Fofo into the back line, if you find Doomby and LWX in this fight, that unleashes Ore to take over, but unfortunately for them, they just don't have control. FPX have started to shut down this game, suffocating that vision control, moving between these lanes, and because again they're grouped to this 5-man stack, how does Fofo or Lien pick them off?
So tense. You've now got a stopwatch here onto LWX as he finally finishes up his rapid fire cannon. So the Kaiser online, safe as well, but gotta say, iBoy, he's very close to that Lord Dominic's regard. He will just be a monster if he's not dealt with.
So what FPX needs to do right now is bait Baron. They want to try and get this Destiny out from Fofo and hope that while that cooldown is down, maybe even have to do it again to get the double TPs that are going to be shortly coming up for Ore. But this is how you need to play it. It's play it slow, play to your strengths, make sure you're grouped as 5. And if Ore are ever not in the vicinity, you can burst it down.
Yeah, iBoy has to use the Buster Shot to get himself out, but he's not quite out of the woods just yet. They're going to use the Destiny Gate, the Paranoia, the Shockwave. iBoy's dead. The damage you had for the side of RA is just not there, and FPX have found the pick. The Vanguard's edge onto the backside to see if they can take down Cube. Only the top laner and the ADC are dead, but the rest of FPX are fully alive and healthy. They can just look for the end. They can honestly keep going to the base.
Yeah, Tien is just being a pro. He's just going to tank it up, say FPX, I've opened the doors, the red carpet is laid out. Let's get to a game 2.
This is finally the win here for FPX. It was a little bit of a fantastic base defense there for iBoy and RA, but they're not able to do it. And FPX find the pick, they find themselves the win, and they find themselves the advantage in this series.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it was great from start to finish from both sides. We end up seeing a huge amount of back and forth coming in from both RA side and from